Really like what I'm seeing from the Bucks. This was a team that I was critical of going into the season. I wasn't sure what we were gonna get. They were a team that was riddled with injuries last year. They get annihilated by the Cowboys. And how are we gonna recover from Tom Brady? Are we gonna revert back into being the Bucks? Todd Bowles, I had a lot of questions there. Doesn't have a winning record as a head coach, but so far their defense has been electric. They've been able to get stops. They gave the Philadelphia Eagles some trouble, but their offense just couldn't keep up with the Eagles. And I was like, okay, I get it was the Eagles. Seemed like a bad matchup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see how they perform versus New Orleans. I think they have a great shot to win this game. Pick them to win this game, and then they go into the Superdome and get it done. Baker Mayfield seems like a man playing for his career right now. Said it in week 1. I was like, Baker kind of looks possessed, where he put the distractions away. It's like, okay, not focusing on getting the advertisers, not focusing on living that rapper, hip hop, Hollywood quarterback lifestyle. As much as I enjoy that, football is what got me here. I do love the game of football, so I'm going to get back to myself. Get healthy this season. I didn't get a fair shake in Carolina because we're seeing right now those receivers weren't the best in the world, with DJ Moore and now chosen Anderson and Chuba Hubbard being the best running back, and trading away CMC. Goes to the Rams, plays pretty well enough to get him a job in Tampa Bay. And so far, he loves Mike Evans, which is a great thing. It was nice seeing Josh Palmer show up in this game, the rookie quarterback. I like Tompkins. I think he's been a great addition, where he's kind of a gadget guy that gives their offense a little bit more juice. And I think really what this team is missing right now is Jonathan Taylor, because they were one of the teams mentioned that could possibly trade for Jonathan Taylor. If they can go out there and get an actual running back, White has just not been the guy. He's trying to make too many plays, has fumbled the ball, but I think with that defense, with how Baker Mayfield's been playing, if you go out there and get someone like Jonathan Taylor, you could almost lock up that you're the favorite to win the division and be head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah, and especially with like the Saints team, I have not been super impressed with what I saw from the Saints team. The highest points given up, they've scored 20 points. That's the highest they've scored all season. And, you know, I think Derek Carr is a fine quarterback. He's actually a guy that I usually like. But this offense is clunky. They have a lot of talent. They have the Michael Thomases and Chris Olaves of the world. They do get Elvin Kamara back. He actually played in this game. But that offense is just clunky and kind of a mess. And then their defense, this Bucks team had its way with them. Baker Mayfield making the throws when it matters. You talk about adding Jonathan Taylor. If they go and trade, like, it's just a trade that you would accept for them. If this was like you get Jonathan Taylor, you give up like a 3rd round pick and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I think Josh Palmer would step up, and then Tompkins has showed he can be good enough. So
Yeah.
your team would take a step back receiver wise, but you would have a more balanced attack.
Yeah, and then for the Colts, they would get a nice receiver, so that could be a good fit for him. We'll see as we get closer to the deadline, but I think this would be a good fit. It seems like their offensive line still starting to piece things together, but Baker playing like a man on a mission. 7 touchdowns for the first 4 weeks. Really, the only poor game you could really point to is that Eagles game where they were just overmatched.
Yeah.
And other than that, playing clean, not a lot of mistakes, getting the ball out to his receivers when it matters. And he's been playing well.
Yeah, their defense has been impressive too. Like Antoine Winfield Jr. Has been good. Their secondary has been banged up the past few years, but they still have one of the best linebacking cores in the league. Still have Vita Vea manning the defense there, and then Shaq Barrett is still making plays. Levante David is still a monster. Derek White, or Devin White. Derek White for the Celtics. Devin White kind of like went through a funk last year, but it seems like he's coming back into his own and starting to play well again. And then Todd Bowles is a guy who coached the Jets with Ryan Fitzpatrick to being 10-6. And I think this could be a very similar team to that Jets team that he coached.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be a tough, gritty team. I do think that of all the teams in that division, right, you have the Saints. I don't really trust Dennis Allen and that offense to make any noise. The Falcons kind of selling my stock a little bit on them. Seem like they're more of a home team. And then they have the
Panthers.
The Panthers, yeah, the Panthers are a mess.